Last night in a Fox News town hall, Sean Hannity asked Donald Trump twice, coaching him along as he often does in these interviews, if Trump planned to abuse his power if elected to a second term. Trump told the Iowa audience he would not be a dictator except for on his first day in office.
I want to be very, very clear on this. To be clear, do you in any way have any plans whatsoever, if reelected president, to abuse power, to break the law, to use the government to go after people?
You mean like they're using right now? So, in the history of our country, what's happened to us, again, has never happened before. Over nonsense, over nothing, made up charges. I often say Al Capone, he was one of the greatest of all time, if you like criminals. He was a mob boss, the likes of which Scarface, they call him. And he got indicted once. I got indicted 4 times.
I want to go back to this one issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight, you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill,
That's
drill,
not
drill.
That's not.
No, no.
That's not retribution.
I'm going to be, you know, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
It's kind of like that.
Believe him.
We talked about this. Remember the answer we talked about, and Donald Trump doesn't do it. He had previous interview member said, you didn't take all those documents back to your beach club. I did, and I had the right to do it. And Hannity kind of droops his head. But the point is, again, he's saying now just explicitly, I'm going to do a bunch of stuff on day one, and if anybody believes it's going to end in day one, I've got a bridge to sell you across the river here. So this is what we're hearing from Donald Trump more and more, and it's the reason we're hearing more and more from Joe Biden about the dangers of a potential second term.
Well, I mean, Willie, think about it. If any other politician in American history were asked the question, are you going to be a dictator? No. Donald Trump never answered it. He never answered it. And when he said, and I just want, there's a sickness. There is a sickness among, unfortunately, some of our fellow Americans regarding authoritarianism and totalitarianism. They want it because, Willie, when he promised that he would be a dictator on day one, he got applause.
Well, and that's on Fox News, and there's a lot of people watching who are right on board.
Even before he talked about the border, which a majority of Americans would support closing the border today, probably an overwhelming majority, are drilling. By the way, what a stupid thing to say. Drill, drill, drill. What a stupid thing to say. You can tell he doesn't even read the newspapers, and the people applauding that don't even read the newspapers. U.S. oil production.
Yep. Record
highs. We are drilling more and producing more oil, whether you like it or not. We are drilling more oil now than the Saudis, getting more oil out of the ground than the Saudis, getting more oil out of the ground than Russia. What are you going to drill, your teeth? We're already doing it. But that just shows, Willie, how stupid he is. And I've got to say, people who applaud drill, 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 how stupid they are, because that's what we're doing right now. In fact, Biden's administration, I know a lot of people on the left aren't going to like this, their presidency is seeing more oil production than any other presidency in U.S. history. And yet they applaud drill, drill, drill.
They also could be victims of a cult-like personality.
Well, listen, this is.
Either way, it's not good for America.
There's a personality cult. It's very bad for America. And make no mistake of it, a large chunk of those people in that audience cheering when Donald Trump said, I'll be a dictator on day one, well, they want that.
Yeah, look at the polling. This race is going to be close right down to the end because of the applause that you heard in that room last night. Let's